to find out, starting things off, what Black is going to roll with. As we'll see that permaban, Zarya and Tastar. I hope you guys have screen burn reduction on your computers, because we might be seeing this all season long. Oh! As I say it, the Zeratul gets first banned here, so they're trying to grab up one of the two. Tempest will give the Zarya away if MVP Black really wants to take it.
And Black is really pressuring hard on Modern Life. They already know that they brought game number 1 solidly, because a very big part was coming out from Modern Life just not being on his most comfortable hero and banning out Zeratul and taking Vala from the first pick.
The reason why Zarya is so strong, the reason why Tastar is so strong, is mostly because of Vala in Asia. So that's why, you know, if they don't want to take the Zarya instead of the Vala, because if they take the Zarya, what happens next is Tempest just takes Vala and Ariel, and they're like, oh, what is Zarya going to do for you now? There are other heroes that Zarya can work with, but Vala is the usual one that you see paired. So I think you're completely right. You're on the money. This is a target against Modern Life's hero pool. And if there is going to be another hero that Tempest feels comfortable pairing Zarya with, they're going to show it right now.
Yep, or they will just take Ariel and then whatever pairs... Oh, actually, Gul'dan is a perfect pair on this map, too. They can just grab those two right away and just try to counter Vala in that way.
Gul'dan Ariel is a great pickup opportunity here for Tempest, should they decide to go for it. I'm going to go Falstad Dahaka, though, so they're going to control globals instead.
Both of it.
And this is a bit of a frustration point now for MVP Black. We are going to see Zarya and Ariel, though. So here's the trade-off, though. When you don't take the Zarya like this and you give it away, this gives full control, and I mean full control of any trades that are going to be given in lane and team fights. Vala will be virtually indestructible with this comp. So I'm worried for Tempest. They have control of the macro, but anything that happens in that quad lane, the you know, double rotation, 4-man rotation lanes, it can get a bit nasty.
So they can target again on Ragnaros. Very likely to just go and target again, and that will just make Modern Life be off on his comfortable hero pool, which Tempest exactly needs on what they have. Ragnaros on with those globals will perfectly work.
You know, Ragnaros and Dahaka together is not something we always see. It's pretty rare to see them together, but that's something they could have targeted for sure, especially considering how Ragnaros works against the Crystal Aegis, like we were talking about before. I'm going to take Nazeebo out instead. Another one of DuckDuck's big favorites, especially on this map. So the map, well, that Tempest took a lot of their wins in the Eastern Clash with DuckDuck on the Nazeebo. So Tychus comes out here. Going to probably be the DuckDuck Tychus. A very late Malfurion for Hyde. As we roll things back over, the question now becomes, who's the main tank? Are they going to go for full control of the 4-man with an ETC here and the sort of minimalistic potential global presence, or they just want to go for the safer Muradin?
We will see, as Tempest already picked Tychus, the tank buster coming out. The Black has to think that in a way that Vala, having solo Vala doing all the damage is a possibility, which MVP Black did come out and won a few games, but that's going to be hard against a team comp with Tempest to what they already have here.
Yeah, you usually see with the Vala just a solo damage Vala when you have two supports for her. You see the rare occasional Vala Li Ming. Oh man, okay.
This is not the first time, so I'm not as shocked, but it is a Murky, right?
Yep, that's Murky for real. I can read that Korean. Wow, Variant. Very few appearances of this hero since the nerf to his charge stun. And you know, he's been recently slightly more nerfed as well, but I think that this is a pretty solid lineup. His early game is buffed because his health pool base was increased. It was just the buff from his taunt health pool that was nerfed, so it was kind of a buff and a nerf, just depending on which way you're looking at it. Winner of this third game will go on to match point in our very first best of 5 here in HGC Korea. We're going on to Dragonshire. We've seen Probius, now we've got the Murky. Let's find out which one of these two teams is going to take that lead to jump into match point. In blue, it is Tempest. Hide on Malfurion, Duck Duck on Tychus, Lockdown on the Falstad, Sign on Variant and Modern Life on the Dahaka.
And in red, MVP Black, Sake on Zarya, Reset on Vala, Twist on Muradin, Kyocha on Murky, and Meride on Ariel.
So, this is going to be, for Kyocha, his first career Murky. So we will see how he plays on the hero, as this is quite an unusual pick until recently. We saw it in the Eastern Clash, and it's growing in popularity. It was considered to be super broken in the PTR. There were, of course, a few quality of life nerfs, if you will, quality of life for the ladderers and solo queue. Just some small nerfs to some numbers for him, so he's not going to be completely dominant here in this game. Now, notice a difference between how much hope happens when your Vala is able to have that protection, come in, do direct damage to build that hope so that you can always be healed, whereas in the previous set, game number 1, Vala was never really able to get into the fray because of all the CC was forced out of the fight.
Yep, that's right, and with that Zarya shield, you can be a lot more aggressive and do damage, which would connect with what you just said, building hopes. And Kyocha on this top lane.
It's okay, you can say it the Korean way, it's fine, everyone knows what you mean. We call it line in Korea, they call it lane in the West.
It is exactly the same. And instead it is a Murky. No more Pervious until on game number 3. But Modern Life, let's see how well he plays on that Dahaka now.
I mean, in the past, he's played a fairly decent Dahaka. He's a strong solo laning presence. Going to really do well against this Murky overall in lane, as you can already see. Not going to have very many kills, sure, but he's just winning the wave clear battle. Obviously, Murky has the ability to kind of rotate back and control these Shrine quite often. This is not going to be a cap for Black because we do see Lockdown is in position to deny, although he flies in right now, actually. This is going to cost them the Dragon Knight for sure. They're going to need to get kills off this to make it worth it. They get 1, will they get the 2? Reset just trying to get as much hope for Meride as he can. Meride misses the shot, though. He doesn't even cast his heal. So that could have been a save, but either way, interesting choice for Lockdown to try to contest this, knowing that it was going to be taken if he did, and also that it was at full capture in the bot shrine. Interesting decision there. Going to cost them big in terms of structures.
Yeah, this basically canceled out all that Dragon Fire coming out from Tust. And Tempest actually taking the lead with EXP. Great catch with that root at the very end from Hyde coming out. Without that root, that first kill would not be possible. But still on. Zarya shielding herself, Duck Duck playing one of his best heroes.
Well, Kyocha here in the top lane, you know, staying fairly even. I talked about before how tough it is to deal with him taking the Shrine, but at the same time, in terms of wave clear, Daka usually having a slight edge there. So fairly even matchup, but they did lose the Dragon over the fact that that was captured at that moment. And despite the 2 kills here for Tempest, they took a structural disadvantage. Black only slightly ahead currently in terms of EXP. Lockdown did go into Seasoned Marksman, which is becoming the golden standard right now in terms of auto attack damage. Or rather, in terms of false head builds, I should say, doing that bet damage. Root here onto Reset.
Vala was caught, but just barely gets out of that root right after. Did have that heal and the shield available, but it was not even needed. Tempest, of course, having that 2 global presence, they're really pressuring the bot, because once Vala can move around freely, if they push a little bit of each lane, especially the bot, they can have so much more pressure. Tempest is trying their best to not to let that happen.
Alright, there's a kill onto Murky here.
That's not the biggest thing.
Not a real kill, but skin always reminds me of SpongeBob SquarePants for some reason. I don't know why. That's like that's the image of my brain. That's my childhood, guys. That's my middle school brain right there. Okay, Kyocha gonna go ahead and replant an egg as we see a lot of pings being called down here. Lockdown wants to come in for the engage here. On to Reset. Meride does have 1 heal, but that's not enough. However, the counter root onto Modern Life is gonna trap him under turrets here. It's like he will just barely survive. 1 turret shot left would have killed him, so it's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Tempest. But the top lane being continuously pressured by Murky. That's a bit frustrating.
It is always frustrating to have Murky staying on one lane, just pushing that entire game from the beginning to the end. But great positioning coming out from Lockdown, just being aggressive. But they're making kills every single time. They're making better trades, 1-2 or 0-1. So it's a good thing for Tempest, of course.
There's a Reddit thread today about the old artifacts that we had back in the beta that were removed from the game, and one of the top comments was, remember when we had to deal with Murky when he didn't give EXP when he died? And so true. He's so difficult. His
long time ago.
His March of the Murlocs used to kill structures so fast too, man. That was like my favorite hero for about a month when that was going on. But not as strong now, still viable and still frustrating here in the top lane. Going to give a temporary channel to MVP Black, but with a 4-man here in bot, no way to break through.
And Falstad just staying in the middle, trying to look for his light spots. Actually, he decides to go top. And meanwhile, all this fight is happening 3v3. And of course, Vala is so strong, having that great sustain by attacking, building hopes, and also Malfurion is the one to keep the sustain alive. So not much kills coming down until the Falstad comes along.
Yep, they do commit to capturing the top temple for now, but that's going to cost them the bot. And meanwhile, Tist is actually tangoing here with Lockdown. Lockdown going to be able to do a ton of damage to Muradin if given the range to work with. And then we're going to kind of have an even trade here. In the top lane, it looks like a lot of damage being done to the Haka, but just win the trade at the end. During all of this, Reset is just insanely aggressive because he has all that backup heals. Oh, I like this Gust over the wall, though.
Great Gust coming out. They have no escape, and Twilight Dream does connect. This is a 4v3. Good taunts coming out and protections on Varian.
That Aegis really well timed, though. Oh, that was an amazing engage. Just MVP with great crisis management, all things considered. Modern Life comes in here. They're not able to secure the kill. And will he survive? Yes, he will, despite Sake's finished grenade talent at level 1. That quest is done. Kyocha's going to channel here. There's no way to deny. And what ended up being a great Gust into a sick engage works against Tempest at the end of the day.
Just the man just joined the fight. He was already walking towards that way. He knew that Falstad was gone, going for that bottom lane. He's following up. He's always been a solid player. He's never really backed up. He's really never had the bad days, so to say, in terms of other tank players.
Well, this is going to be damage to the mid fort. Bot fort pushed directly by ground, if you will, just vanilla by the MVP Black members. A 4-man push bot. Dragon Knight, half of mid. Kyocha is murky, has no problems getting out, keeps this lane pushed. The counter pressure in the top lane here by Falstad is annoying, but it's nowhere near as effective as what Black was able to accomplish with this push. And Lockdown actually retreats, knowing the potential Murky suicide is there. Murky is somewhat, in situations like this, a semi-global because he can have his eggs in the top and then suicide down in the bot, for example, just teleport right back up the top lane. Doesn't need to do it in this case, but Lockdown very aware of that potential and backs off.
Yeah, you don't need to risk yourself too much, because Murky can respawn pretty quickly with all those fake eggs nearby.
Yep, not the fake eggs, but the real one's the one you got to worry about.
It's your
harassing up here.
Yeah, it's your mission to find out the real one, which takes a lot of time.
Takes a lot of time, and you're almost never going to find it because it's usually positioned somewhere safe, like behind the gate.
Yep.
Okay, well, this game definitely with a big edge in terms of structural damage here for Black. It's not, you know, a massive lead by any means, but we're getting there. Okay, here's the expulsion zone. A nice disengage Gust, though. A very expensive cooldown to burn, but it's going to be well worth it here to get this out as the Night push continues top. No ammo left on this turret. So this ends up being frustrating. Black will have to deal with this eventually.
Yeah, but Murky is back as usual.
Yep.
And meanwhile, Black is slowly getting that power, and Tempest has been really pushing their power until they just hit level 13, they can catch up. But Black with Reset being on Vala, as he is himself played on Vala so many times during the first phase, and even in Eastern Clash, he had shown some crazy moves with that Vala.
Really be interesting to see what the next engage holds for us, because we're going to have Gust up in just a second, which has been the big engaging tool so far here for Tempest, disengaging in that last fight. Channel's up here, so Tempest will have to fight one way or the other. They're going to commit to this top, but Kyocha can buy so much time here. And you see the big 4-man rotation up to mid. This is really worrisome here for Tempest. His lockdown is going to be warded away. There's no one even near a bot. I think this is going to eventually be a channel for Black. They're actually trying to trap Tempest here. Tempest does not take the bait. I feel like they could have definitely done this a little bit more aggressively, but Tempest is just kind of like, oh, are you guys going to pop out somewhere and channel? This is super committed. I mean, Black is staying in here. Eventually, it's all going to show. This works out really well for Tempest, though, as now Falstead's going to retake top.
Yeah, both teams were just waiting in bush, trying to see some faces coming out, and that's just a murky kill.
Now, this worked out. I feel like at the end of the day for Tempest, Black wanted the all-in, like, I'm going to wipe in the Dragon Knight and get a keep. But instead, they didn't get the Dragon Knight. We see the commitment here. Modern Life comes in for the drag. Finally gets one here onto Sake. But he immediately shields himself and will escape. Zarya is good.
Yeah, the right target to actually pull will be... The best target will be Reset. But, of course, staying in the back line, staying safe along with Merryday and Sake.
So much protection for him as well, which is one of the strong things here. Sake might actually drop down the expulsion zone. He does. They're going to commit to the fight. Aegis onto him here. The Gust, though, is going to isolate him. It's one of the reasons why Gust and Aegis have a really weird interaction like that makes it very tough to use. This is a 1 kill here for Tempest. They're going to get the second. Now down onto Kyocha. It's not really a kill. It's a murky kill. Merryday taking the scary path there through the hedge maze. Does get out and resets on the chase now. They want to turn this fight. Big amount of hope. Sign commits here. Way aggressive, but he does eventually waddle his way out. Incredible aggression here out of Sign. A big problem for him in the Eastern Clash, and he actually loses this fight for his teammates, I'd say, committing there. And he does escape, but several dead now. 3 dead. And this will be an MVP Black Dragon Knight, no doubt. It's going to be Murky that gets it too, so they maximize the value. This could have been really great for Tempest had they just walked away, but Sign wanted to go in.
Way too overextending right there. Is on such a critical moment right before the Dragon Knight, and Black just hit level 16. I mean, during that fight, so Sign could have been a little bit more cautious before going in, but seems like the trend for him.
Yeah, they could have just aborted the fight entirely. With a pick on to Murky, you know, put him back up in the top lane, disengage, try to take back control of the shrines, but then they had 2 dead. They're going to have 16 for the defense at least, so that's key. Modern Life looking to soak even more before coming in at the last moment to engage. Coach has already spent half the health of this Dragon Knight as they knock down this wall. Huge push here with the Siege Giants though, and they're looking for a keep. Going to take a while to actually whittle it down. And I think their actually best bet is to get out of here and let this go, and perhaps try to force Modern Life out of the top lane. Gonna steal these Siege Giants on the way out. At least that's their plan. Good Moonfire here to scout. They're still gonna take the Siege Giants though. No way to hard engage this without bringing Modern Life down.
Modern Life has been pushing on top, but not enough. Has to join teamfight right now. Doctor gets caught by that expulsion zone. Disengage a little bit too late.
Look at how much healing Reset has here. He's just constantly auto-attacking. Has the Aegis as well as that Zarya shield, and he's already back up at full health. Modern Life comes down with the adaptation to try to burn himself, or like keep his health alive here instead of being burned down. Does get killed by a perfectly timed grenade here from Sake. There's like a Mene Zarya I'm watching right now, the main mage player playing it. This is going to be a keep for Black, and perhaps more if Tempest overextends on this defense. Reset poking in, abusing Sign's aggressive positioning. And that's going to be just the walk away here. Not going to overextend further. And
yeah, really got punished hard
from
MVP from overextending, and Black made the right choice. This expulsion zone at the perfect spot. Taika's blown up from the beginning of the fight. Tempest really had no choice. And that disengage, that Gust, was a little bit too late. Could have been a little bit faster exactly when Black decided to commit. If Tempest knew that they were not going to fully commit into that fight, they could have just not fought.
Modern Life is going to have his hands full dealing with his top push for now. Murky's actually starting to work on that top fort, which once more will push them closer and closer to 20, especially with the giant, or rather the Knight camp being taken here. Pushing that same top lane. So there's going to be a lot of pressure during this time while Black is approaching 20 on Tempest here. We're even going to see the commitment to the gank Modern Life so they can get this fort. They will get him, and they're going to get this fort, which is going to give them 20. Then they can channel the Dragon Knights. They already have so much top lane pressure. They're going to channel top, rotate down bottom, try to force a fight while they have that talent tier advantage. Look at this. Only Kyocha goes top. Everyone else rotating down slowly. I love this positioning here by Tempest, though, trying to punish this, but MVP Black takes the long way around, and they don't catch them. And now we see that rotation up. It's going to be that level 20 to 18 fight. Murky even instead going to push the top lane.
And Murky has the potential of being a tank now at 20.
Going to go for the slime upgrade instead as we go into that gust now. The Aegis here popped immediately, but it's a 1-for-1. That's most of the damage gone here for MVP Black, though they did lose Vala. But can they turn the fight anyways? They're committing here onto Sign. Malfurion is already dead.
Vala is gone, but Black still does have a lot of damage left. Lockdown is probably the only DPS left for Tempest and does get blown up.
Tist, perfect denial here on the kill for Meriday. That's how you do it with Muradin. Turning this one around. Duck in some serious trouble. Tist looking for this Stormbolt. Is he going to commit to the Dwarf Toss? He will. Oh, the juke! And that won't be enough, sadly.
Takes the kill, and it was 3v1 at that moment, but still, Muradin with the hammers.
So 3 down here. The keep is down. The Dragon Knight's going to march bot. 42 seconds until Tychus is back up. They have Murky, and they're going to push to end. It's going to be difficult for Tempest to even attempt to stop this. Sign doing what he can. Oh, this looks to be a sealed deal here. MVP Black committing now. Modern Life coming over. There's the boot, and the Dragon Knight does so much damage here. 16:45 on the clock as they just auto-attack this. Look at the Zarya damage. Full energy here for Sake, and that is going to be all she wrote. MVP Black will take the 2-1 lead going into match point in our first best of 5.
Well done by MVP Black, and Tempest really brought their power, but Sign started his overextending a little bit in game number 3, as we pointed that out a few times in the game, and Black made the right choice to engage when Sign engaged at the same time.
Risa did get picked off in that last fight.